Story 5. Anyone for beep ball? Okay, I guess we have to play basketball against Syrup to save the rec center? Alright, anyway, this stage, it's a bit of a retread of Story 2, but not so much that I find it boring. Rather than scaling one big building, we're just kind of moseying on through town in this one. It feels very casual for a boss stage, I will say. Okay, so... right here, we're gonna go through a few buildings, right? I believe that must be the way to move forward. So, oh, need one more enemy door, though. This one's tricky because you basically have to use a mechanic that you might have noticed but not have really absorbed as a mechanic. The fact that enemies kind of just, like, get bumped up when you slam the ground. Oh, huh. Well, I mean, I guess I have said before that, like, you do have to keep a lookout for walls that are, you know, enemy only, but not shown as such. But for some reason there's an exit here. But we didn't even fight the boss, though. Wait, why is that already open? Okay... huh... did I mess up somewhere? I don't think I re-recorded. And where's this, anyway? Well, clearly Syrup doesn't actually live here. However, Wario is hot on her trail, especially since he didn't actually fight anybody between here and the actual Stage 5, so she's just going to take up residence in this spooky mansion in hopes that Wario goes away. Wario doesn't seem too keen on coming here either, but if he wants to get his treasure back, then I guess he has to. So, time for the final chapter, Uncanny Mansion. This is a pretty unusual theme for a final area, I will say. It's just a haunted mansion. I mean, Luigi's Mansion's final area is a haunted mansion, but that's the whole game, so like, I don't think that one counts. So this one... as far as final levels go, I think I kinda like this one. I feel like I'm net positive on Uncanny Mansion, though that being said, we do have a bit of a backtracky level. In fact, there's I'd almost say a theme of backtracking in this one. This level does it creatively, though. Anytime you enter one of these doors and leave through them, the enemy type that is shown above the door will actually spawn into the room. Now, we've got these holes in the walls here, however, we can't really do anything about spots like this because, well, the roosters are way too heavy to actually make use of. You cannot throw them far enough for them to get through the holes in the walls there, so don't bother. It's not worth it. We also have more zombies, of course. This is the chapter where Zombie Wario is definitely going to make a, comeback? I mean, he only really appeared once, and it wasn't spectacular, so comeback doesn't feel like the correct word, but he does make more appearances here. There is so much Zombie Wario, in fact, usually used as a obstacle, as I think I mentioned back in Chapter 1. Can't quite remember. Also, by the way, don't break that dresser or a ghost will come out and likely turn you into a zombie. So, like I said, very frequently used as an obstacle, though there are a few points in this chapter where it will come in useful. So that's cool. I do, as always, like sort of the range of the abilities in this game, how they are used both as a thing you want and also just like, well, an obstacle. There's really no other way to describe that. So yeah, just fine. You go over there, I'll go over here. Yeah. For the most part, you're going to want to steer clear of Zombie Wario, but sometimes it's actually good to get zombified. can probably figure out where, but I will show you the best points to do it. Kind of. I'll explain later, but, you know, sometimes I like to show things off, even if they're not convenient. Right, so, we've got the spearmen here. These are the only enemies in this story that are not actually heavy, meaning we can use them for the secrets in the walls. Yep. Oh, darn it, I was hoping to crush that man. Ah, well, I'm gonna miss those coins. Oh well. Sorry, Wario. Wait. How low is the Wario sync meter? Shit, has it always been at 0? Oh, the coins are there. Okay, good, they're just there. Sorry, I must be getting paranoid. There's nothing to worry about, it's fine. Anyway, right, yes, so we need the spearman for over here. Whew, really scared myself there, just... we don't need him to throw, though, we need to bounce off of him to get up here. Otherwise, there's just no way you can duck jump high enough to reach that. Okay, so this is the room we- oh geez. Threat to my existence. This is the room we need to find in order to progress. So, at the top here, we have a switch. We just need to get past ghosts for it. So, after going through the ghost danger zone, press this, and now it's time for our second pass through the level. This time, however, the light is turned on in some rooms, meaning that you can see certain platforms. Now, if you are particularly determined to do this in just one pass, it is possible to jump on the platforms while the room is dark. Which should be obvious because there was one room where we were just seemingly walking on air. That being said, though, it is very difficult to actually do that successfully, so it's easier to just turn the lights on and carry yourself home in this case. I do have a map, but I figured the legit method is better because it's a, you know, more genuine run of the stage, and also, I can't be fucked to blindly platform through the level. I'm sorry, that just sounds annoying. That sounds like a thing I don't want to do. I know this is taking time in of itself, but like, you have to figure out what's going to take up more time in the long haul. And blind platforming is probably going to be worse. Also, roosters are immortal. I don't know why this is, but you can just bump them a bunch of times and they won't die. I guess that might be tier advantage to a certain extent, like, technically speaking, you could actually use the roosters to reach the one top right area. You don't need a spearman for that, you just need an enemy of any sort. As long as you can duck jump off of it. And also, speaking of ducks, let's see... Top left? Ah, one off. Ah, it's the bandana. The bandana got me. The bandanas on those two enemies are just too similar. Ah well, at least past me got it. After some trials and tribulations. Anyway, though, just a couple more rooms to go through. Actually, I mean only one room, because the top right is the switch room, which means we've already done that, so... Really, all that is left to conquer now is this room, which is giving me a weird sense of deja vu now that I'm looking at the platforming. Oh well, anyway, you could always get down here and go through this door if you'd like, but again, I wanted a more genuine run of the level. Okay, so here's our final challenge, is ghost platforming. You're going to want Wario to die at least once, so that he can pass through the floor and get those coins. And now we've got to weave through a ghost. Pretty much just figure out where it's circling. In this case, it's the right side, and just stick to the right when you need to wait for it to be in a better position. And with that, I believe this here is the last room, right? Let's see, yep, here's the giant spearman. Let's fuck his entire shit up. Oop. Ducking will not work. It's gotta be a slam jam. And... dead. I'm sure he was glad to have such a cheery theme for his death. Alright, so we got the treasure. That's good. It's just a clock. Just a clock. And... oh, okay, this looks different, but it's not done, right? So suddenly the subgame is different for some reason. And now that it is, yeah, no, this is just the gimmick now. Your coins will automatically be taken up as the panels flip over. Wario Land 2 has decided you probably know what numbers look like. So here's challenge mode. Now you have to figure it out as it's going. There's no time to take a break and kind of just look at the thing and just take it in and try to figure it out what it could be. You'd have to, like, pause the emulator to actually pause it, which is, you know, it's not like that's the thing I do for the other minigames, definitely not. I did try to play along with this time, though, since it is automatically paying up. Usually I just pause between frames, though, or between getting new frames, you know, just to speed the video up. Just so I'm not dwelling on my own, because there is deliberation. But yeah, since it's auto-going now, I'm just gonna kinda go with that, but... I mean, if you're playing on emulator, you can just pause. Alright, story 2, Hold On to the Owl. Alright, well then, not the most evocative titles for these stages, but... alright, here's another owl control stage. For some reason there are just owls in the mansion, and... as easy as it would be to make our way over there, in fact, I don't think you even need the owl to get over those spikes. I think, though it's tricky with all the spikes in the way, it is theoretically possible to get over those. Admittedly, I did not try, though. Because this is the gimmick of the stage. We hit that switch, and by doing so... these blocks will change to ones that you can pass through. So now we can take our owl and go wherever we please. Well, not anywhere we please, because now that we've pressed that switch, certain other areas will now be blocked off. So this is just sort of the gimmick of Story 2, is just, you've got to owl, and sometimes it would be easier to just complete the stage, but if you want more coins, then you've gotta owl. And I want more coins, right, Wario? Come on. Why is it that the sync meter can only go down, huh? Why does it never go up? Well, anyway, the minigame is pretty early on in the stage, so... legit, you can do this one pretty quickly without it being a huge issue. I got a ton of money in the bank, so the minigame isn't a problem even though it's changed top left. That one I got easily. He's a little puff guy, he's a very distinct color. And we got a book. Now that looks to be the book thickness, if... God, that meme is too varied for me to actually just pin down a single one. It's me if I had a whole lot of carefully thought out ideas for what that meme was, versus a tiny book, which is what I actually have to bring to the table, which is to say, I don't know what people compare in the stupid book meme, I don't even like that one that much. I mean, it's not racist, right? That's... points for that, it's got a low bar to clear. Anyway though, yeah, I think you can jump over that. I'm pretty sure Wario can get over 3 blocks if he charges. It's just very difficult to actually... that is a very difficult jump, though. When it's below you, you could probably get it. Alright, there we go. So, again, I don't think I had to owl there. I do have to owl here, however. Owl is required. So I know we've only seen the owl in Maze Woods, but admittedly, the owl is probably one of the mechanics that doesn't really get that many varied iterations. I mean, this is definitely a tricky section, but it's kind of similar to the other owl sections we've done so far. And this one, the stage rather, is probably the most unique, in that, again, it's more about backtracking with the owl, and if you want to get all of the treasure, you have to do a loop of the stage, and then get the owl and go through it a second time with the ability to fly. Alright, so you jump over here. And yes, yep, there's the goal. I was about to say we were almost done with the stage, and then that was very apparent with the goal right there. The goal does mean you are at the goal. So this is where your owl ride stops. Now, if you wanted to, you can actually go up at this point, and you can very easily just beat the stage right now. I will not, however. I will, in fact, press the switch that's in this room. If I gotta. We'll need Punchy Punchington before we actually get to the switch, though. So just like how we got to this chapter, we want to pound the ground in order to raise Punchy Punchington up, and then we smash the middle one here, and there we go. Now we will loop around this big ol' area. Well, I mean, okay, there's a door right here, but you probably see what we need to do now. There was that set of blocks that prevented us from owling too far. Now that the blocks have been pressed once again, we are able to owl where we please. Oh, sorry. Sorry, there is one more set of blocks. We had to press that once to get down here, and then this is the state we have to be in order to progress. I'm sorry. I skipped a step. How very foolish of me. Anyway, this is basically just that first run again, except now we can get the coins that were too high up for us before. Alright, so we're up here, but unfortunately we do need to go up to this top section before we can move on to the goal. But it's fine, there's not much to it. Oh, well, that coin's lost. Okay, there we go. And you might think this is where we say goodbye to the stage, but it's not because there's yet another section. Don't worry though, we are in a state where we are able to owl back. There is an emergency exit here. You can poke some holes in the blocks to your left down there, and then you can press the switch again once you're down. But I didn't have to, the owl was already free. And now we may leave. Alright, got a book. Wario's never gonna read it. Wario, how do you even know this is treasure? This could just be a normal-ass book. Alright, well, anyway. It's time to watch our coins spiral downwards. I get why they do this, and it's understandable. But god, it's so rude. Please, I need to know if this is an 8. Okay, it's a 0. Thank you. Oh, you lose so many coins in the process, it's so painful. Alright, well, we're working on the bottom row of this for some reason. I don't know, we shouldn't have that many. Well, whatever. Anyway, the way to open the door, and to get on the floor, and to walk the dinosaur. So this is like a variation on a maze stage. So we enter this door, the only one that's open, and we discover that the goal is right here in door number 5. But as always, Wario cannot climb into a door. He does need a floor directly under it to use it, so we cannot go through the goal door. However, by going through door 5, door 4 opens. And this is kinda just how the whole stage works. You just enter a door, and certain others will open and others will close, so you will essentially create new opportunities just by entering and leaving a door. Which means you can do the stage pretty quickly if you know how everything is laid out, and you just decide to enter and leave. You don't need to do anything specific in any of these doors, you don't need to spend a specific amount of time in them. It is just a matter of you go through, you leave, and now new stuff is open. 5 is open again, but now 1 is open, and that's the important thing. Now, I'm going to do this section the slow way because it's one of these. Yep, they're gonna go blah 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 blah. But as always, these aren't particularly difficult. Just hit one, back off, charge in again, hit them. Yeah, they never really made any of these particularly difficult, but I guess I can't complain too much. There is something that's kind of fun about this one, though, compared to the others. This is just business as usual, of course, but there is one thing that can probably figure it out, considering it's the only other aspect to this room. Other than the guys go rah 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 rah. Oh, and of course you might have also noticed that these blocks also appear in these rooms, blocking off certain caches of treasure like that one. So we have to move on until we find the switch. So yeah, this final chapter is really all about that backtracking. You just kinda go back and forth. Like, technically this is a very easy level to just speedrun, but like, I don't know. I feel like when you're at the point where you're just charging through stages, that's kind of the least fun aspect to them. Because, you know, the entire game is about collecting treasure, so like, just going through a level normally is just kind of nothing. I mean, you're not even giving yourself the satisfaction of picking up treasure. Alright, so let's see. What do we got? We've got the chef. Alright, if I back away, am I able to see him? Third bottom? Fourth bottom. Darn it. I keep being off by 1, though that was just me blindly guessing, not like misseeing one of the other sprites. And hey! We got Dracula's wine glass. Nice. This thing's worth a fortune. He doesn't have a lot of those left. He keeps breaking them. Alright, so I've got the Pog enemies here, and I don't like them, so I will destroy them. And it's not just because you Pog, though that is an aspect of it. It's also because you attack very suddenly, and I'm bad at reacting to you. Alright, so 2 is the final room we've not yet explored, which, as you might be able to guess, means it is the room where we will find, the switch we need. So, let's hit the ghost, because Zombie Wario damages enemies on contact. Wario just says, "Get out of here!" and they go flying. So what would normally bounce him back and make him lose coins is now just a complete non-issue. So now that we know this aspect of Zombie Wario, I think you can probably figure out at least one of the room gimmicks. In fact, there's only one room with a mystery gimmick. The rest are just, have we been paying attention to the blocks? So we want to enter 4, go to the bottom, and Now we can just get the coins down here. That one's very simple, and not super worth it. I don't know. Look, it's Wario, he wants all the coins he can get his hands on. But, didn't feel the most worthwhile. This one is where we need to use Zombie Wario to just casually kill these guys with no repercussions whatsoever, so yeah, no real difficulty to it, but hey, if you want to make things easier on yourself, zombie your way through. I mean, considering Zombie Wario moves slowly, it's not that much of a speed boost to do this, but you don't have to stop and wait for these guys, so if for no other reason than the fact that you are moving while you're doing this, it's a bit faster. I do think it's legitimately faster, but it also probably feels faster because it's more active. Alright, and simple enough. This really is a stage where, if you wanted to speedrun it, even if you are looking for treasure, you honestly probably just want to go for the switch first and foremost. Like, this room I didn't need to do twice, but, you know, again, I kind of want to show this stage off as you would play it if you got to it normally, where you might not initially know where the switch is, and so you might keep scouring the rooms. But thus far, and I think forever, it's not particularly necessary, so I mean, look, I'm having regrets looking back at the runtime for this video, but I don't think it's actually a huge issue. Alright, and with that, we've fully explored all the rooms. Once again, old Spike Kong here must die. And we're done. Alright. I remember when Wario drank Dracula's wine, it was right now. And with that, we can move on to the minigame. So, what do we got? Is the game gonna be rude to us once again? I mean, really, this is the same challenge, it's just... Now you've... Oh, that's a 2. Now you've got the pressure of you're constantly dwindling money, so... The mentality of it changes a lot. It is very much more panicked. Alright, so... We've got a weird cupcake down there? Whatever it is a very important part of this map because we need all of the, landmarks that we can get, and we have the stage coming back as difficult. Is that metaphorical or literal? Well, at the very least it is literal. We'll have to decide if it's metaphorical later. Okay, so this is another backtrack-heavy stage. Like I said, that's kind of just all of the levels in Chapter Uncanny Mansion. It doesn't have a number, it's just Final Chapter. But okay, look. I actually really kind of like this one. Because... Okay, we've had 3 stages of backtracking so far, so if you picked up on that, then you're probably paying attention to the layout of the rooms. That is very important. You will need to remember how these look. It'll help you a lot later in the stage. So yeah, it goes in line with your expectations, which I think is pretty cool. It actually feels like a very cohesive, sort of level, or world, or chapter, or whatever you want to call it. Because a lot of the chapters here do have some glue between them. Like there were a lot of animal friends in Maze Woods, for example. But while a lot of the levels here just feel kind of samey in terms of their design, there is actually, again, a very cohesive sort of theming to the style of level design we have here. The other reason I like this level, though, is because it just really reminds me of Wario Land 4. Because we've got old Pogs here. But once we press this switch, now we have to deal with a more difficult version of the level that plays off what we've seen in the level so far. So again, very Wario Land 4, I think it's real cool. And not only that, it also utilizes both of the gimmicks that we've seen associated with switches in this level, that being the light gimmick and the block switch gimmick. Now, obviously you're going to be expecting the block switch gimmick because there is a very specific and easy to tell, well, tell for it. And while you can maybe recognize that the rooms will go from light to dark, that's not as immediate. You might only think it's the block gimmick, but no, it is also the lights as well. Now, that being said, considering the fact that we do have punchy punchingtons on the floor, for example, kind of showing you where holes may or may not be, it's not like you are completely screwed if you didn't assume that there would be a darkness gimmick. There are tells, but you will perform the best in the level if you actually pay attention to it when you start. So yeah, I just think this is a really cool level. And if it just had, like, a boss at the end of it, I think this would actually be a perfect way to end this. But yeah, no, I just love the fact that it is very much just prototype Wario Land 4. You go through the stage one time, and in this case it's easier. That's not always the case in Wario Land 4. But then you have the back half, which in some ways plays with what the level does beforehand, which is sometimes going backwards through it with a few alterations, sometimes it's a completely new bit of stage. In this case, it is just what you have done before, but blocks are in a different position and enemies are here now. But yeah, no, I think it... again, I could be biased because it reminds me of my favorite Wario Land game, but I just think it's a cool gimmick and it's very well thought out and well done. Let's see, where is Spearman? Spearman is... left, I was correct, but it sounded wrong. See, okay, I was looking at the top third one, and I saw Spearman to the left of that one, so I said left because it's left of what I was looking at. It sounded totally wrong. I wanted to say second on the top, but... well, I guess that's just kind of how the human brain works sometimes, huh? Sometimes you just blurt out a thing. And some people have very weird brain wiring, so they just, you know, do that. Gestures to nothing. Anyway, that's the end of the level. We made it through in one piece. But of course, that was not the finale. We either got a wine bottle to go along with our wine glass, or that's a very big, expensive bottle of ketchup. That's the good stuff that doesn't just taste really sweet. Alright, what do we got? We got... 2? Hell yeah, it's 2 again! Oh, thank you, 2. You're my favorite. You're so distinct. I've decided 2 is now my favorite number. I never thought that numbers would be a thing I would have a favorite of. It seems so arbitrary to have a favorite one, unless, I don't know, you're a gambler or something, and you're really superstitious. Oh well. Anyway, final chapter, final story, capture the ghost. Is this where we find that Syrup's been dead all along? Is that it? Is it her ghost? Oh well. So, yeah, I don't like this one as much, though. Admittedly, it's not as backtracky, which... should be a good thing, right? Like, nobody typically likes backtracking. Like, if you have to call it backtracking, that usually means it's a form of backtracking you don't like. But I do kind of like it in the mansion, so I'm kind of sad we don't do that as much here. Oh well. Anyway, I guess it's not a huge deal if it's a short chapter. Alright, so, if we go here, and here, there's an extra step there. This, as you can probably guess, is where we'll be spat out if we get defeated by the boss. Let's see, we want to throw an enemy here because you can stand on the table. So carefully jump up and throw the enemy in such a way Not like that, that was a mistake. I wanted to throw it more, this way, but I didn't really have the room, to do that easily. I don't think it was impossible, though I don't remember how the blocks were configured at the time, but I think I could have made that jump. But I decided not to. Alright, and here are the other big coins. And there we go. That's it for this room. Easy enough. I tried to go donk while I jumped off of him, but I failed. Alright, and now... this room is the one with a switch, and just barely can't hit it with Wario's mighty jump. It's a simple matter to get this over, though. No secrets in this room either, so we're free to go down here. Now, let's see, we could access the boss here, but I'm not going to. Oh! Hell yeah, silver coin! I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I'll take you anyway. Alright, remove you, because there are other enemies in the pond that I can use. You were nothing to me. I just used you, Spearman. How do you feel about that? So, since we have the pirates cornered, I wonder if any of these spearmen are the ones from the intro. Is this the comically inept spearman? 'Cause he's my favorite. I miss that guy. That is, if I killed him. If I didn't kill him, then, oh well, I guess it's fine. Alright, so let's see. Of course, we're skipping the boss for now. Want to grab these. And in this room over here, there is a switch. Guarded by a very rude snowman. If you get hit, it's not a big deal. You'll just slide back and waste some time, so... he's not even effective. Like, I'm not going to rage quit from being sent into a wall once, snowman. You really gotta choose your battles better. Alright, now, we're almost to the treasure room. However, this is kind of our big puzzle for this whole story. This is our big puzzle room. I believe that's the door we want right there. Actually, wait, no, I think it's higher up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's higher up, actually. But we do need to press a switch because... hitting this stove over will only take us so far before it falls down. So now we will use this to boost our way over here. But this is not the treasure room, as I just said. I realized pretty quickly, hey no, the way this room is laid out, that doesn't make sense. We instead need to worry about pressing a switch in here after we get past a zombie. No big deal. Again, it's just a minor inconvenience if he hits us, so... not really effective, just annoying. Alright, so with that done, we are now able to cross this gap over here, thus allowing us to hopefully not get zombified, because that'd be annoying to have to remove. Don't hit that dresser, because that's got a ghost in it. And we have the minigame. Alright, guy, what do you want? Where are ya? Top right. There, this time I didn't mess up the wording in my head, it's fine. Oh, and we get a weird-looking skull. Aren't you from Zack and Wiki? I'm pretty sure you are. Alright, and with that, we are now able to finish the stage in peace. I will want to, I think, press the switch, right? Because otherwise it'll be a staircase. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So we definitely need to press that one again, but once you do, it's smooth sailing back over here. It's not smooth sailing to kill this man, though, jeez. That was weirdly difficult. Okay, so we don't need to press any more switches. We're done with switches. And it looks like Syrup's done with life. She's been kidnapped by a ghost. Damn, usurped as the final boss. That just sucks. Especially since the ghost is super easy. If you get grabbed by the ghoulie, yeah, he'll just take you up to the ceiling and punch you, but otherwise, just wait a second or two, move before he can grab ya, and that's it, that's the boss. Alright, well, Wario Land 2, you've been a good game, but man, that is such a nothing final boss. It's very easy. I guess to be fair, if you can't get the timing down, it would be difficult, but like, I think it's a pretty easy timing to get used to, even when he kinda tries to swipe at you by, you know, being faster. He gets injured in red, but it doesn't really make that much a difference. And also you can just kinda like casually bump him to do damage to you. I think that's gotta be an... yeah, it has to be an... oh wait, nope. Nope. Past me's right, that was a 6. Gotta be careful. But yeah, no, very easy final boss. Again, I could just kinda accidentally bump into him, which I think I did in that take. Alright, there we go. Got more of the map complete, but it's not done. Oh well, too bad. Wario's gonna have to go treasure hunting another day. Oh geez, okay, well, there goes Syrup. And the Spearmen? Oh geez, and there they go too. Okay, well, Wario has recovered his treasure. Oh, no, never mind. So he knocked Syrup and her minions into the pit, but it seems that Wario too has fallen to the dungeon of the mansion. Oh, but it was all a dream? No, that doesn't seem correct. Alright, well, I guess that was Wario Land 2. None of it actually happened. This has just been an in-depth look at the paranoia that Wario has to deal with just on a day-to-day basis, because he has all this treasure, but he has messed with pirates, so he's always worried that they're gonna come back. Wait, no, that's Syrup's balloon. Wait, hold on a sec. Does that mean that Wario was dreaming of his treasure being captured, but it's actually going to happen for real, though? No, that can't be. No, that can't be right. No, that can't happen again. It 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 can't happen again.